That initial strike blocked by the keeper, went back to Naime, tried to get ahead on it, and once again saved by the keeper.
Firiam had to really show his reflexes were up to scratch. Thomas Yagum, well, he's having a horrid second half. It's a Kyle. Joe. Rex Nyman just pointing at Daniel Joe and saying, I totally understand where you are coming from. Simon. Ezra Tungon thought he'd won that. It's a throw for Papua New Guinea. Lucy and I looking at both benches. No sign from Lars Hop on any changes as Arti Kepo over Simon. Again, a wonderful save from the keeper. This time Obed Solomon gets past his both players. Now a third. Robert Haruo. Ilaani under pressure. Yawak. Kati Yamak. Now Rex Naime looking to break. Just controlled this time by Kiri Yawak. Tomare comes out of his goal line. Tomare. Rex Nyman looking for Arti Kepo. He trying to get past Michel Coulon. Deflection resulted in a throw for Vanuatu, which is taken by Kiri Yawak. That's given away. Daniel Joe, almost as if to say, I'll give it back to you, does so. A player down for Vanuatu at the moment. Player is just dealing with the cramps. As Lars Hop had said, his side was coming off the back of multiple matches over a shortened rest period.
A few of the players actually using this moment to stretch out.
Michel Coulon there, who is just signed for FC Vanuatu United. This is Kiriawak. Ezra Tungon ball. Just checking for the rest of his teammates. Look for Obed Solomon.
Well, Jeremy, we are coming up to about 10 minutes left. And if the score remains, we'll have to go into extra time.
Namatak has advanced. Tioni. They haven't really utilized the right side of attack, Vanuatu. Kaltak. Yawa, Kaltak. Tioni waiting. It was right in front of the referee. Is Yagi Asasa. The free kick for Vanuatu.
It also looks like a substitution might be made for Vanuatu side.
Kiri Yawak will come off and Nahili Enarua. Direct strike to Dave Tomara's goal, taken easily. Tomara opting high rather than going for the distance needed for PNG to really kickstart and ignite something. Sasa Naime beaten out by Bill Kaltak. Kulon. Ani. Just a hint of fatigue creeping in. Now Vanuatu with more players advancing as Ilani goes down. Joe. Oh, but Simon he's been a little bit quiet as much of the play has been on the far side of the pitch. Arne for Kepo. Kaltak turning in to the midfield. Robert Haruel was overshot for big substitute Nahili Enarua. Kepo heads on. Robert Simon falls now for Thomas Yagum. PNG have to be careful. Alex Anil where the flag goes up. But Simon missed an absolutely golden opportunity in front of his home crowd. Alex Anil himself had thought he'd been given a ton of space to push forward. Raised boot there. The centre for Yasasa, he turns. Still, Rani, Naime, Kepo. Still not Kepo, he looks to tee up Emmanuel Simon. Trying to thread it through as Vanuatu on the counter. Daniel Joe made it awkward for Dave Tomare. Rani, through ball, looking for Naime. And it's still Rex Naime for PNG. Sakayo. Manuel Simon. And wide on the other side is Albert Simon. The shift from the PNG players had me confused for a moment. Yasasa looks for the cross. Nicely defended by Katayama. It's a corner for PNG.
Well, Jeremy, with the clock counting down, you can feel the tension and the intensity rise here at the Sejonggai Stadium.
Yasasa. Kepo in the box. Ani in the box again. 4-5 PNG players holding back the entire Vanuatu defense inside the penalty area. Punched away. Kulon will clear. Sakayo launches it forward. This time, Kaloran Firiam will try to keep everyone's nerves settled.
Well, Jeremy, I mentioned the tension here at the Sejongkai Stadium. I imagine the tension as well at the Freshwater Stadium in Vanuatu.
Naime. Rani. Looking for the Rex Naime. Great defense from Vanuatu's captain, Michel Coulon. Lose possession again. 1-2 from Rani. Vanuatu shutting down those tight spaces. As again the flag being raised against Alex Anil.
Jeremy, you can see frustrations from the Vanuatu bench.
Sanil himself is not happy with that call. Joe, long, looking for Kepo. Kepo heads on, drops 4. Obed Simon. 1-2. Better from Vanuatu. And Arua goes direct to Tomare. Right now, Solomon Rani might be running low on the gas tank at the moment. A lot of tired bodies out there. Ani, Simon, Kepo. But Simon still with it for PNG. Drives forward, shifting to his left boot. Rani. Naime. Inward, Rex Naime still. Who's the trigger? Filiam's goal was shielded nicely. There were at least a dozen legs in front of him to stop that shot from coming toward him. Yasasa. This time Solomon running in the box for Papua New Guinea. Close range, great save. Corner number 5 for Papua New Guinea. Again, it's Yagi Asasa.
Here's that replay. Brilliant strike. A great save from the keeper.
Yasasa for Papua New Guinea. 90 seconds remaining of regulation time here at the Sejongkai Stadium in this, the grand final of the MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup. Yasasa floats it. Yasasa outs it. It's going to be a goal kick, Vanuatu. Well, as we made mention of here in the commentary box, if the scores are even at full time, we'll head into extra time, 15 minutes. 2 halves of 15 minutes each. Fidian has to be careful, he might get a card for this. Naime, great control from both him and Lucationi. Tiago was always beaten out. Tioni switches. On, Rani. Kepo, turn in. Kepo looking for Naime again. Naime off his right boot. Shifts it. Inside the box for PNG is Obed Simon.
And it is 4 minutes added to this second half.
4 minutes of added time, corner number 6 and PNG's number 11 going across to take it.
Jeremy, we're seeing a lot of tired legs. You can see players with their hands on their knees as well. They're really emptying their tanks out there on the pitch.
Sasa, low drive, Naime falls for Solomon Rani. Well, you also have to admit that the 2 substitutions made in the first half is now starting to affect the squads. I feel they should have left Abraham Allen on, brought Yagi Asasa on maybe just after the start of the second half. It would have kept the PNG team a little fresher. Mohamed Simon. Sasa gives it away. Kiriawak under pressure. Sakayo. You can see the urgency right now from PNG. They're playing the ball much faster than before. Yagum. It's missed by Namatak. No, Kati Yamak. Yagum, quick throw. Looking for Naimek. Kepo on the ball. Simon calling. Rani heads it back towards Yagi Asasa. Good control. He's down. Free kick, PNG. I'm checking to see who can take this. With Gunemba out. And Dabinyaba. And Tommy Sami. It's Yagi Asasa over the ball. He's won it. As I said 4 minutes ago, 90 seconds or so left on the clock. It is Yagi Asasa with a free kick for PNG. Vanuatu with a 4-man wall. Their entire team has dropped back right to the edge of the 18 yards. Yagi Asasa goes directly. And it was almost fumbled by Kaloram Firiam. Hit that cleanly. It was on target. Simon Yasasa. Simon. Offside flag called against Yagi Yasasa. Actually was because Michel Coulon is down. Played by Bill Kaltak, Okara, Yamak, with Solomon, Lucationi looking to get past Sakayo. It's for Snyder who wins this throw. The referee says it's gone the other way. Yawak with the throw. Looking for Sanil. Cleared by Yagum. Still ball back with Tioni. Yamak. This time Papua New Guinea win possession. Long throw. Yagum. Coulon sends it back to Emmanuel Simon. And it's, well, it's the end of regulation time here at the Sejongkai Stadium, and Lucy, looks like we are headed into extra time.
Indeed. You can see both teams looking exhausted at the moment. However, they will have to dig deeper as we go into extra time.
The extra time will compose of, we'll have coin toss to see which side plays from south to northwest. South being on the right side of your screens if you're home, and northwest towards the left. That will decide which team takes the pitch, which team has possession of for kickoff. We'll have 15 minutes the first half and 15 minutes of the second half to decide who takes out the final of the 2025 MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup. We're going across back to Port Villa from the Freshwater Stadium. In fact, this was the home ground for Ifira Blackbird in their debut season in the OFC Champions League in 2023. Their home ground. Right now, the Vanuatu players are losing for extra time. In your experience, the scores as they are, what is going on through the heads of the players?
Well, Jeremy, we just saw this, both teams go through over 90 minutes of football. It's perhaps the discussion will be around playing smart, no making any small mistakes you can afford to. So, and also just encouraging each other. Yeah, I mean, you're not only playing for your team and your communities, your families, but you're also playing for your country, for national pride.
Because it was a free kick given against Papua New Guinea that led to that 19th minute goal by Alex Anil before Antti Kepo pulled one back in the 56th minute to equalize the scores here at the Sejongai Stadium. The PNG have to be careful, both sides have to be careful in conceding free kicks, especially closer towards their 18 yards box. Here the aforementioned coin toss that I was talking about. While David Multa sends his troops back onto the pitch, Lars Hop still giving final words of instructions for his players. They do have David Yamak and Mira Loloa, who scored in the semi-finals, still on the bench. Whereas Papua New Guinea, well, they have Palapo.
It looks like a substitution has been made for the Vanuatu side.
Nicholas King comes on. I'm not sure if he's gone for Kiriyawak.
Jeremy, in their opening match when Vanuatu played PNG Reds, King actually played as a defender. Now we're seeing him put up front.
King is on.
And the referee is pulling out the yellow card.
It's a yellow card for Rex Naime on this challenge on Nicholas King. Tungon, this delivery, looking for King. He heads on. This will be cleared by Danny Joe, who goes high. Joe again. Joe, Naime, Kepo. Ani. Vanuatu had gone all out against the Solomon Islands in the semi-finals. So we beg to wonder whether they can still be able to keep that same high tempo. King. Tungon. Solomon. Kaltak. Ani. Simon. Naime. It's kept in. Looking for Kepo. Ati Kepo still. Obed Simon heavy on the touch. While it was kept inside. Flag raised. In fact, Lucy, too many touches taken by Ati Kepo. Could have hit that first time.
That last touch was definitely a bit heavy. And I think because of the field, he thought perhaps if he took it a bit harder.
Sanil, Kaltak, King waiting. Alex Sanil in the box for Vanuatu. Deflected off Daniel Joe's boot. Tamara. Well, I feel though that the substitutions made by David Muta may have been done too early when he brought off Tommy Sammy for Obed Simon. Rex Naima has definitely proven an asset. Kaltak for Tioni. Kati Yamak. Kaltak Harwell. Kaltak still trying to break. As Tioni gets past. Yagum shoots it! And look at Tioni has pulled it back for Vanuatu. Wonderful strike from outside the box. Here it is. Thomas Yagum gave Tioni miles of space. Tomara was waiting. He went for the near post shot. Luca Tioni has put Vanuatu in front here at the Sejongai Stadium against the defending MSG Cup champions Papua New Guinea. That goal coming in the 94th minute. Now Papua New Guinea on the back foot again. And a little bit of breathing space for Vanuatu. Absolutely.
Perhaps we might see them play a bit more compact.
Sanil. Yagum advanced far too high. It's around this point in time, Lucy, that mental toughness really has to kick in. Coulon. Ani awkward. Still gets past Nicholas King. Now Naime, well, Kepo's walking at the moment. Sasa wide. Simon! Okara clears. Throw. While they're feeling the pressure on the pitch, so too are we feeling it here in the box. Ila Anik, long throw. Appeals for a corner. One is given. Sasa. Yagi Sasa, edge of the box drive. Ani connected it sweetly. It's out for a goal kick. Firiam will just try his best to run this clock down. There's 9 minutes or so remaining in the first half of extra time. Firiam. Oh, poor clearance, forced to Naime. Naime, high ball, look for with Simon. Still Simon. Confusion all about. Sanil. Yagum. Disappointing from Solomon Ranes. Alexander looks to break for Vanuatu. Nicholas King drifting behind Ilaani. Now Solomon Rani, Naime is onside. King slides. Kepo heads on. Kepo heads out. Well, he scored PNG's first goal in their match against the Solomon Islands. And on the halfway line, well, the Port Moresby crowd not too happy with Nicholas King. It's the third time he's gone down since he's come on. Maybe a substitution for Papua New Guinea. And Solomon Rani comes off. And Pala Paul makes his entrance to the final of the MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup. Ani, high. Kepo. Lucy, I'm actually wondering why Abraham Allen had made a start instead of Pala Paul in the first place. This throw to be taken quickly over Simon. Now for Pala Paul. The Yamak just belts that out to the eastern stands. Yasasa looking for Naime. Control off his right thigh, steps over. Interesting challenge against Ezra Tungon. The ball out of play for a goal kick.
Well, Jeremy, I'm looking to the side of us and I see spectators on their feet, as you can feel the tension in the air at the moment.
Cleared long. Headed on, this should be left for Tamare. Joe, he'll launch it. Goes wide for Simon. He's taken on nicely by Kati Yamak. Yagum, Sakail, Yagum, Simon, Paul running, switches, looking for Naime. More urgency this time from the home side. Paul, Naime, looking for Kepo, drops, across. Sasa for Obed Simon, Emmanuel Simon, Yagum, ball off his right boot, direct, ball!
What a fantastic finish from Pala Paul, who just entered moments ago.
Well, like he did for PNG after he made that substitution, he does it again here this afternoon. And Paul, when PNG needed him the most, has leveled the scores here in the final. Here's the delivery again. He's given a ton of space off his right boot. Rather casual from Kaloram Firiam. And now after 102 minutes, Paul has equalized. Will Papua New Guinea have been fighting tooth and nail? King heads on Joe. Sasa, Naime against Tungon. Naime, Kepo in the box, still Rex Naime. Everybody sprinting back for Vanuatu. King for Alexa Neal. Alexa Neal tried to turn. He was again covered nicely by his PNG defense. Sasa, Paul onside, will be a throw for PNG. But Solomon's boot. Ani quickly. Naime. Good shielding by Michelle Coulon.
Well, Jeremy, the score now 2-2 as Vanuatu took a comfortable lead for a second.
With Simon, now Kepo.
It's now Papua New Guinea putting more pressure with their attacking side.
It's been the intensity of the matches that Vanuatu have played. Papua New Guinea did kickstart this campaign with a much slower tempo. Most of their matches, it wasn't until their game against the Solomon Islands where they really stepped up. It's against Fiji, actually. Yasasa ops for Naime, intercepted by Ezra Tungon.
Jeremy, it looks like King has dropped back into defense for Vanuatu.
Ani. Paul onside. Looking for Simon. There's a strike from Emmanuel Simon. One Simon to another. Sure, but it's Rokara that's down again. Almost a minute of additional time on this first half of extra time. The Yamak goes long. Sakail, well, Sakail missed that. Alexa Neo. Kartek ahead of him. Joe wide throw.
Well, you can see all the yellow shirts racing back in defense.
All those three were brought on as substitutes. So they have far fresher legs, with the exception of Kepo. The Yamak deflection, Tomare takes. Tomare, they're going to the right-hand side. Papua New Guinea, more players outnumbering the Vanuatu defense, although that was poor from Daniel Joe. And Bunmikiat Songkran, Taiwan, calls an end to the first half of extra time Papua New Guinea were trailing by 1-0 until we restarted the second half. Then it was 1-1. Then a 94th minute strike by Luka Tioni made it 2-1. Vanuatu had slowed play down before the introduction of Palapo, who would come on for Solomon Rani. It was Paul's right boot in the 102nd minute that has equalized the scores here at the Sajongai Stadium. From a visual perspective and with the home ground advantage, Lucy, Vanuatu just need to hold out. They have been trying to counter-attack, but they are almost running on empty.
That's right, and I think you can see from both sides tired legs expressed by the players' hands on their knees, constant stretching when the ball does go out of play.
PNG slowly making their entrance onto the pitch. Lucy, there's an air of confidence about the home side.
I will say, Jeremy, that in those last moments, you could feel that shift, the momentum after Palapol had scored that to even out the scoreline. It seems Papua New Guinea feel a little confident at the moment.
Vanuatu coach Lance Hop just giving far more tactical instructions to his players. They still have David Yamak and Mila Loloa on the bench. Loloa, who scored last in the semi-finals. So they do have threats. Sanil will start. Krubea, Haruel, Kaltak. Haruel, Rokara, Danny Joe. Naime, Paul, 1-2 with Rex Naime. Turns, surrounded by 4 or 5 shirts about him. Alex Anil, well, he again caught offside. Manuel Simon, Ilaani, 1-2 with Albert Simon. Palapol, right boot, in swinger. The strike ambitious from Yagi Asasa, but had no power. He didn't connect with it properly. Kalaram Firiam will slow things down again. It's about 14 minutes until the end of extra time. Sanil, Joe. But Simon heads on while Ati Kepo took his time coming back. Simon, Kepo, Yasasa waiting. Yasasa, he was looking for Naime. Rokara. Yamak. The ball goes out of play. Yagum. Naime. Paul over. He's looking for a run of, I think, Obed Simon. As Ilaani retrieves that ball. Yasasa, he's got time. Sakayo. wide. Iago. Sasa.
Vanuatu patiently shifting.
Kati Yamak just blasted straight for Alexa Neil. Kaltak drives himself. He goes down. Kaltak just checking his left ankle. Lucy, the last time Papua New Guinea had a penalty shootout here on this ground, it was against New Zealand in the final of the OFC Nations Cup. In 2016, Ronald Warisan had been the goalkeeper in that match. My delivery, attack. Kati Yamak. Lets it go. Yamak. Kara. High ball. Well, there's a number of green shirts and none from PNG. And a free kick given away cheaply by Albert Simon. Been speaking about this, Lucy, just heading into the start of extra time, how PNG would want to be careful not to concede.
It's those little mistakes that might cost them for both teams.
This is Bill Kaltak. Kaltak for Sanil! Well, he connected with that header. It came off of Tomara's shoulder. Simon wins it, gives it away to Solomon. And Alex Sanil with tons of space. Nicholas King!
What a fantastic save by the keeper.
King knows he could have smacked that in, instead opted to use the inside of his boot. Sanil just teed him up.
Well, King knew he didn't have much time on that ball as well. He knew he had to take it quick.
Ezra Tungon. Good delivery. Tomara takes. Paul is calling. Kepo. If he checks, Naime is free. Instead for Palapo. Good ball. Kepo for Rex Naime. From one end to the other, almost immediately, PNG tried to hit back.
That was a great run by Atikepo.
In times of desperation, do notice that teams tend to play long. As they know, tired legs can barely control even the best of passes. Sanil. Tungon. Haruel beaten out by Obed Simon. Looking for Naime. Kepo is waiting. Kepo heavy. Naime still cuts it back in. That was done cheaply by Obed Simon. Sasa though still with it. Kepo. Still Ati Kepo. He'll keep it in. You sort of feel that perhaps Hedrokara should have let that go. It would have been heading out for a goal kick. Instead, PNG deep inside Vanuatu's half. Kepo inside, cleared by King. High instead of long. Ani missed that. Ball covered again by Daniel Joe.
Well, Jeremy, you can tell Vanuatu's playing safe, leaving a number of green shirts, playing more defensively.
Naime. PNG this time on the attack through Rex Naime. Well, Kepo is walking. Now opting for Palapo. He feels he'll have to do this himself. Obed Simon is on the far side. Simon wins it. Well, he's looking for support. Rani was miles away. Rani. Emmanuel Simon. Ilaani. Emmanuel Simon lazily darts forward. Obed Simon. Drive inward. PNG just on the edge. Vanuatu holding steady. They now look to break. Sanio. Kaltak. Katiyamak. This will fly over Tomare's goal. It'll be a corner for Vanuatu. In fact, Lucy, this is only Vanuatu's second corner of the entire match. Such has been the home side defense. Bill Kaltek will take this.
Vanuatu sending more players into the box.
Kaltak. This time Vanuatu doing exactly what PNG did. Waiting for that rebound. Kaltak, great ball, looking for Yamak. Smashed away by Shane Sakayo.
Jeremy, earlier I was talking about how Vanuatu was keeping players playing more defensively. Perhaps that could also be that we have tired legs on the pitch. They've been playing for 115 minutes. And we're seeing the result of this.
4.5 minutes of this second half of extra time remaining here at the Sejongkai Stadium. Kati Yamak for Bill Kaltak. Naime. Kaltak! Sasa this time clears. Wrong direction, most would think. Ezra Tungon. He'll feel disappointed he didn't lower the trajectory tomorrow.
Jeremy, we're seeing that goalkeepers are opting to go long in this extra time.
Tomara has tried to, though the breeze is coming from the northwest. Naime breaking. Well, Kepo needs to get inside the box. Naime. He saw Palapo. Yagum. For Kepo. Mati Kepo has not really been assisting the PNG forwards at the moment. In fact, he hasn't been fighting at all up front. They do have Jonathan Allen though. Joe. A great cover by Michel Coulon. Drops for Kaltak. This will be too heavy for Alex Sanio. There's been a lot of pressure on Vanuatu's lone striker to do a lot of running.
There has been.
It's a lot of space to cover, especially when he's been outnumbered.
Indeed, and he's been finding himself alone up top.
Tomare. Kyle, Yasasa, PNG opting back. And Kepo needs to make a move. There's a lot of players standing still. Naime. Kepo just trying to hold his ground.
Well, Jeremy, another reason for the goalkeepers going long is probably to get it away from the goal mouth. You know, we've seen mistakes made on this pitch, and it can cost them, especially when it's very crucial, as the time is ticking away.
On Yasasa. And Kati Yamak Sanio. Mationi. Just Vanuatu will just keep this play closed. Emmanuel Simon. Naime. Simon. Yasasa. Simon. Now looking for Naime. Rex Naime! Well, Edward Rocara knows just how fortunate he was. That pass wayward. All that had to be done was the simplest of tap-ins. Vanuatu appealing that Edward Naime should receive a card for that challenge, but in actual fact it's a corner for PNG and Palapol is over the ball. Palapol, who scored in exactly this scenario. Palapol for PNG. Seconds remaining. Paul high. Challenge on Michel Coulon, who's down.
It looks like Ati Kepo.
Well, Lucy, it is full time here. It is the end of extra time at the Sir John Guys Stadium. The scores 2 goals apiece. Papua New Guinea had to fight back twice. In the 19th minute, they'd gone down to Alex Sanil strike before Ati Kepo pulled one back to equalize in the 56th minute. Ati Kepo substituting PNG captain Raymond Gunemba. It was another substitute in Luca Tioni, this time for Vanuatu, who replaced Henry Namatak in the 94th minute, who would make it 2-1. And just before the start of the second half of extra time, it was Palapol that was able to equalize for PNG. And that has pulled us here, Lucy, to where we now will see both sides step in for a penalty shootout.
Well, Jeremy, as we're speaking, it looks like a yellow card has been given, a yellow card. And I think it's the assistant coach for the Vanuatu team.
That will place him on report officially. Vanuatu threw everything at PNG in the first half. But I do also feel that they have exhausted their entire bench, Vanuatu, with the exception of their keeper in Steritor. He's the only member of the squad that hasn't played a single match here. Whereas for Papua New Guinea, it's their reserve keeper, Jordan Tobin. And we'll just wait and see exactly what happens and on which side of the pitch the penalty will be taken. For those that are unfamiliar, a penalty shootout, 5 players from each team will be allowed to shoot from inside the penalty area against the opposition keeper. And after you have 5 chances each, whichever team has more goals in, or in some cases less shots missed, you go through. If the scores are tied after that, there'll be an additional 2 players to make it 7. If they're tied after that, there'll be an additional 2 players to make it 9. And if they're tied after that, another 2 to make it 11v11.
Well, Jeremy, I can tell you right now, I have found myself in this scenario when I was playing on our national team. And it was the game against Tonga in the quarterfinal, actually, for the OFC Nations Cup in 2022, where we went into extra time and then eventually into penalty shootouts. And the great thing was that we were actually prepared for it, and we had been, for fun, during trainings, we would actually end with taking penalty shots. So when this moment came up, we actually were quite calm and collected, and this is what you want to be right now, is calm and collected. Of course, the nerves are going to be there, but just have to, it's that mental toughness that you were talking about. Use that and turn it into something positive.
And we're keeping tabs here as well inside the to our viewers at Freshwater Stadium in Vanuatu and in Independence Park and at Coleman Stadium. Thank you for joining us. I know there are screens across Port Vila right now. As both sides re-enter the Sejongkai Stadium pitch. Who's going to take the first penalty?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 5 kicks per team.
And it's Daniel Joe.
To take the first kick.
Daniel Joe for PNG will take the first
penalty here this evening. Daniel Joe for PNG. Daniel Joe. He makes it one. Vanuatu, it's Edward Taman Rokara for Vanuatu. Goes up against Dave Tomara. Rokara. Edward Taman Rokara for Vanuatu. Rokara saved by Daniel, saved by Dave Tomara. Walking slowly. The second penalty taker for PNG is captain, wearing the captain's armband, Emmanuel Simon. Emmanuel Simon makes it 2. Cutting a lonely figure is, I think it's Robert Haruel. Haruel.
Second kick for Vanuatu by number 8,
Haruel. Saved by Tomara. Well, if Jordan Tobin scores, if Jordan Tobin can score this against Kaloran Firiam, then PNG win this fixture. It's actually Thomas Yagum.
Second kick for PNG by number 22, Thomas
Yagum. Thomas Yagum with tons of pressure on his shoulder. Firiam went the right way.
No goal.
Trying to see from this distance. He's taken this. Might be Tioni. It is Luca Tioni. Luca Tioni for Vanuatu to pull one back for his side. Tioni. Slots it easily against Dave Tomara. Made him go the wrong way.
That kick for Vanuatu by number 17, and Lucationi. The goal.
Now it's Palapo. No, it's not. I think it's Yagi Asasa. Asasa for PNG. Yagi Asasa. And a wonderful save from Firiam.
No goal.
Now it's Obed Solomon for Vanuatu. Solomon wins to Maria. Solomon. Tomara saves. It's now Palapo for PNG. If Palapo scores this, PNG win. If he misses, Tomara needs to save.
The fifth kicker of PNG, number 21, Palapo.
Lucy, we can feel the tension. You can feel the suspense. Palapo. Firiam had gone to his left twice. Palapo for PNG. Palapo misses. Lucy all on. Well, it's Nicholas King that's going to take this. The nerves that would be going through the players' thoughts, Lucy.
Well, I'm actually nervous and I'm not even on the field, Jeremy. I'm just looking at the crowd, everyone on their feet.
If King scores, Vanuatu are now equal on 2 goals apiece, with additional players now having to be called up until all 11 are exhausted. King, he slots it in. result in the number of penalties, 5 apiece, being taken by both PNG and Vanuatu. As Ati Kepo comes to take the sudden death penalty. Kepo.
And ladies and gentlemen, to all after 5 kicks.
Ati Kepo smacks that in. You sort of wonder for both sides why they wouldn't have wanted to put their scorers first. Rokara missed, Harwell missed, Solomon missed. It wasn't until Tioni and King scored that Vanuatu had goals. Right now it is PNG with a slight lead. They have scored 3 penalties. This is Ezra Tungon for Vanuatu. And Tamara almost saved it. Penalties as they are, it is PNG 3, Vanuatu 3. This is Rex Naime. Naime, he'll be looking to make this 4. Kalaran will be looking to save this. Naime! Put it to the right of Kalaran. Firiam. I think this would be maybe Kati Yamak. Swap. It is Kati Yamak. Yamak for Vanuatu. Yamak v Tomare. Easily to Tomare's right. The scores as they are, it is 4-4, 4 penalties each. It is do or die. 1 scores, 1 misses. That's it. Ila Ani. Ani saved! Well, Kaloran Firiam keeping his team still in the hunt. Not sure if this is Bill Kaltak. Bill Kaltak, who has really held the entirety of the belief that Vanuatu have. Kaltak, who has really stood out head and shoulders out of all the midfielders here in the tournament. It's Bill Kaltak that has really proven himself to hold a lot of class. Kaltak! And Bill Kaltak wins it for Vanuatu! Vanuatu celebrate their first ever MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup. And what Papua New Guinea did to the Solomon Islands in 2024, Vanuatu have done to the defending champions and have taken the mantle of 2025 champions. Vanuatu, in the Freshwater Stadium in Port Vila, we congratulate you on your national team. Well, Lucy, what an afternoon it has been.
Jeremy, it has been absolutely thrilling. What a match. Started off with 90 minutes, going into extra time, still finding a deadlock in extra time, which sent us into penalty shootouts, and it's Vanuatu coming out victorious.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And across to the
Final score after the penalty shootout.
and now celebrations for Vanuatu.
Our new champions of
Happiness on the faces
Cup 2025
of the Vanuatu supporters and players and the coaching staff here this afternoon at the Sejongai Stadium.
And you can see on your screens, it's the Vanuatu women's national team who are also here to show support for their men's team, as they are now named the title.
ladies and gentlemen, everybody give the hand and
You are looking at the new champions for the MSG Prime Minister Football Cup 2025.
To an extent, Vanuatu have been deserved winners. They've been absolutely brilliant throughout this tournament, dominating all the matches that they've played. And as Lucy and I were talking about it, was that semi-final on Thursday that had to be the fastest match we have both ever seen and covered. Well, Lucy, let's take a look at the first. Let's take a look at the entrance of both sides when they arrived here. Papua New Guinea themselves had been brought in by Captain Raymond Gunemba, who would unfortunately be subbed off in the first half. Both teams looking quite fresh. Gunemba had been holding the hopes of his nation. Here's the first goal from the right. Alex Neal on the 19th minute, tapping it in from close range. It's a wonderful ball from Andrew Malakai. It wasn't until the second half when a poor clearance and a ball from Daniel Joe ended up at the feet of Ati Kiapo, and on 56 minutes equalized for the home side. Later on, Vanuatu would pull one back. This time, the 94th minute, Luka Tioni's strike, catching Dave Tomare off. He'd been tracking the player off his right, thinking that Sanil would make it a double, and wasn't. Tioni instead. Late on, substitution for PNG, and Palapol found himself with tons of space, slotting it. In fact, it was an awkward take for Kalaram Firiam. Palapol on 102 minutes, equalizing and scoring his second goal of the tournament here this afternoon. Heartbreak for PNG, happiness for Vanuatu. My oh my, what a feeling must be for our Wantoks over in across these 7 provinces of Vanuatu. Again, we congratulate you from us over here.
Well, Jeremy, very well-deserved win for Vanuatu. They've played exceptional this entire tournament.
We're going to head down to PNG coach David Muta for his thoughts on his side's performance here this afternoon.
Shall be done this evening at the post-tournament dinner.
Coach David Muta, congratulations on your team making this year's MSG Cup final. Unfortunately, the team missed out with the penalty shootout. But how do you feel as a coach throughout the competition and how your team performed?
First of all, I want to say thank you to our good Lord for the guidance and protection upon both teams. No one got any serious injuries. Second of all, I want to congratulate Vanuatu for a great performance. They came out all and they did their very best, and they came out victorious. I give them, I want to say congratulations to them, and well done. For us, well, the boys go all out. They give everything. The boys from the bench come, the boys that played, everyone, they give all their best. I think we have lots of chance that we can score, but the boys didn't score, so it's not our day. But I want to give credit to all the players for a great performance, and well done to everyone.
Overall in this competition, what are the positives that you've seen in your team and you can take out moving forward from this match and onwards?
Well, it's good to see that lots of our players that they played in this competition, they show us that they can stand in the field and they can take the responsibility to stay in there and perform in their positions, and did do great in there. So I'm so impressed with all our players. I'm so impressed. And I want to say thank you to all the supporters, everyone in PNG for coming and support, and all our Melanesian brothers and sisters that come here. I want to say thank you, and I want to wish all of them all the very best, and when they go back, I'll safe journey back to their home.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
David Muta, the head coach of Papua New Guinea. Lucy, what a fantastic 14 days
Indeed.
I have had here with you by my side as we've brought to you this celebration of Melanesia.
Absolutely. Not only did football bring us together and the opportunity for us to host these nations, it's definitely been a celebration of unity, of national pride. It's just been fantastic.
One of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing is watching it on television next year as the next nation hosts the 2026 edition, the MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup. And won't that be a sight to see? Papua New Guinea had won it in 2002, Solomon Islands in 2003, Solomon Islands hosting it in 2004, Papua New Guinea taking it back. Then now PNG hosting the 2025 edition. What a tournament it has been with the inclusion of the women's competition.
Absolutely. As I keep stating, it's a milestone for Melanesian women in football with the addition of the women's tournament to the MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup.
Well, we're going to cross now to Lars Hopp and Richard Ewai the head coach and assistant coach of Vanuatu.
Well, coaches, firstly, congratulations. How does it feel to win the MSG Prime Minister's Cup?
Well, I can only imagine what's going on with the players. For us outside, it was really, really tough battle. And in the end, especially in extra time, just defending and trying to put numbers in the box. So now I'm just so pleased for the whole team. And this is Richard's team who selected it and put it together. So big, big compliment to the whole group.
Overall, for your team's performance, how do you feel as coaches? And, did you anticipate it coming down to a penalty shootout today?
I think for us when we went to a penalty shootout, because last time we played in Vanuatu, we lost in a penalty shootout. And we host, and then PNG win. And today we talked to the boys, said we want to, to get that cup and back to Vanuatu. And today we're really happy with the boys, because they give everything they have.
Back home in Vanuatu, they had big screens out there in the public areas for everyone to watch. How does it feel as champions going back, champions of Melanesia for this year?
I think it will take a little bit time because, when you're actually working with a team, you're so focused on doing the job. So I was just saying to Richard, we're missing all the fun, But no, I'm really looking forward to it. And now we can also look a little bit on social media, see what happened, because we tried to keep this away from the players until now. But I think now it will be all about enjoyment for the next couple of days.
Well, congratulations to you both. You've done your country proud. We'll let you go and enjoy with your team. But thanks for being part of this year's MSG Cup 2025 and wish you and your team all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, the football may be over, but the memories will undoubtedly last a lifetime. To the champions, men's and women's, well deserved. To the runners-up, you have earned respect across Melanesia. From Jeremy, myself, and the entire broadcast team, we thank you for joining us this entire tournament in this MSG Prime Minister's Football Cup. From POM to wherever you are, have a wonderful, wonderful evening.